Go away, go away.
All right. I guess we could get started. We might as well. So, Lila Tov, or is it still Abraham Tov? Oh, still Abraham Tov.
Lila
The
Tov
code
is
the
the
same.
Yeah,
And you gonna make that baby great. Same as planned. But my name is Elitam Elamine, and I'm from Ohio, USA. And y'all don't need no translators, right? Everybody's good.
Yeah.
Good. And I'm a pranic teacher, or living on prana, and I've been on the pranic journey for 19 years. Now, did you get them out the one? Shoot already? And that tells a lot about of the work I do on there. And being on a pranic journey, I'll tell you the story on how I ran into it. And what that means is eating very little or none at all. Now, I'm at the level where I don't eat at all right now. And we're going to explain how this takes place and make it user-friendly. It's not far-fetched. Once you see how user-friendly it is, anybody can do it. This is the age now where the information is coming out. It's no longer for the monk up in the mountains. Not only I'm a teacher of it, there's many other teachers, many other movements pushing the human being's potential to be food-free. Now, on this class, we're teaching pranic sexual cultivation. This is very important because sexual cultivation, for me, is the foundation of living on prana. There is no in between. So we got to go there. I got to teach the full package. And even how I ran into sexual cultivation, this is actually going to be my first time telling that story. I usually tell the story about the food freedom part, but the sexual cultivation is the bread and butter and the foundation. Why is that? Because when you deal with the energy channels of the body, from the brain being at the top, at the bottom of our spinal cord is our sexual organs. Along this whole axis, there's an energy flow taking place. And if the energy loves to move upwards, and if the sexual energy is not allowed to move upwards continually, you're automatically going to be forced to go get something external. So this is why it goes hand in hand. And this is important to teach this, because when people come on a path, some of the indications that you're living on prana is your health will improve, you'll have more energy, your sleep will decrease, but last but not least, your sexual energy is going to go up. So if a practitioner's sexual energy goes up but don't know what's taking place, and only say this is the only way to spend it, that's what they're going to do. They're going to be in a cycle, forced to eat over again, build up their sexual energy, spending it, not realizing they can allow it to go upwards, and keep improving on the path to where you can eat very little or not at all. That's the catch. And when you look at in the past, or even now, in a lot of the spiritual circles on the planet, or even Hollywood, sexual cases is always taking place. And a lot of it is dealing with the ignorance of the biology of how we work. Because a person gets that horny feeling they wasn't taught on sexual energy cultivation, what to do with it. So you can find yourself getting in trouble being in certain circles. That's the nature of the beast. So therefore, that's why, again, even though prana's coming out, people living on it, more and more to the mainstream, also sexual energy cultivation is coming more and more on the mainstream, because they go hand in hand. Now, when I ran into, first of all, what even got me on the pranic journey? It was health problems. Believe it or not, it was a time I was overweight. I was in America on a standard American diet, eating 5 meals a day. It ain't 3 meals no more, it's 5. So my weight began to go up, and I began to feel kind of bad. But due to my reality I was living in, everybody was like that. In other words, that's your fate. You're supposed to be overweight like that. People gave you compliments for looking that way. That was the norm. However, my health didn't feel good. This couldn't be right. So then, out of the blue, I ran into a man and he said, why don't you just leave meat alone? So that's when I was desperate. I left meat alone and I began to see my weight change. I started to eat a more compassionate, friendly diet. Then I began to exercise with it. So a lot of this stuff came as a fluke as I was running on a path. So that's why living on prana is actually a holistic lifestyle. A lot of people don't realize this. There really isn't no secrets. A lot of things I'm just reminding you of things you already know. Now then, as I started to see my health improve, I lost weight, got more energy, I started to run into a group that did fasting once a week. Now it was a Hebrew group, so for their Shabbats, they actually fasted. So I was in the States at the time, and I took hold of it and really loved it. But then I began to research the health benefits of fasting, and at first, just like anything, leaving food alone for 24 hours was hard. I was like, oh man, I can't wait till the fast is over. So when the fast was over, I'll go to the restaurant, wait until it was over. As soon as it was over, I would have got my favorite meal. And not only that, before the fast started, I would have got my favorite meal at the same restaurant. But I was just proud that I did the 24 hours. So, as I ran into that and seen the improvements over a period of time, a fast became easy. And it happened one night when me and a friend was in a good conversation, and we were so deep into the conversation and energy of it, the fast was over and we forgot. And I said, oh man, we got to go eat. And I noticed I wasn't even hungry. So from there on out, the fast became easy for 24 hours. Now, I still didn't know nothing about living on prana, but I'm on this holistic lifestyle. So the next thing I ran into was meditation. I found a group that was meditating once a week. I at least tried to learn as much as I can. Of course, I started learning more about energy work, Reiki, energy healings, and stuff like that. But then, I really wanted to go more into meditation. So then I ran into, and what I'm going to teach tonight is the microcosmic orbit. Real good meditation. This is why I've been teaching in my retreats, because this was one of the bread and butters that showed me the different energy channels in my body, how to work with it, and the energy got very high. And again, this was before I even learned about being food free. Now, over the last 150 years, the medical establishment made real good strides dealing with health on a dense physical level. Nobody's arguing that. We know about the skeleton. Everybody learns about the muscle component of them. So therefore, the education you got is, what is the best diet to maintain this type of physical structure? But until recently, it seemed like it's this great, how should I say, everybody's seeking more about energy work. How does energy work for the human being? And now we got a thing that's been in spirituality, but it's really getting cranked up more and more on his body picture. And this is dealing with, first this was a spirituality, let me show them, about the chakra system. Some people say it don't exist. There was this war taking place. In the 60s it came out, but then it died out again because everybody went back to materialism. But now we're in an age where this is more true due to technology externally went up. So now they can measure the electromagnetic field that actually comes off the body. This exists. And now this electromagnetic field changes itself with everything we eat, everything we put on our body, and everything we think. So hands down, this is king right now. So, let's go back to the drawing board. This makes it easier for people, for me, to explain this energy center. Because again, even though in school we learned about the skeleton system, the muscular system, there's an energy system that's running through this body that nobody learned when they was in school. So this what makes it difficult when you first hear about food freedom or living on prana. It even hit me, because one day I was sitting there, I was like 80% live on raw foods, really feeling good about myself, meditating, fasting once a week, so I was in this holistic lifestyle. And then this girl said one day, well, there's people who can live without food. I said, what? Wait a minute. So I went looking for the information to go find this out. Now back then, there was not that much information about it. So that's why I'm making a point now to go around and teach people the information. That's the least you could do. It changes the matrix, it changes people's ideas, and it makes it hard for a person, because I went through something, actually being a person going on a food-free journey in a world where people didn't even say, you got so much negativity, this taking place. So it was a big fight. But now, since we're pushing this more and we're changing the consensus reality, it makes it easier for people to say, well, even though I still want to eat, I hear that they're doing that over there. So that changes the whole ball game of where we're going. So now, going back into this. Now, first of all, I call myself a breatharian. Prana just means breath. It's dealing with basically unseen, inanimate forces. In Israel here, we use the word ruach. Basically the same definition. Life force energy, that's what they're talking about. China, they use the word chi. Japan, they use the word ki. In Africa, they use the word ka. So this information always been here. Now, it comes from the ancient word, which means anidia. And anidia means to eat very little or none at all. So a lot of those pictures we saw when we was growing up with Jesus with the halos, the holy men, this is making sense now because this energy center can be measured. Now, when you deal with sexual cultivation, is root chakra. Here we go. Now, here in Israel, we all know about the famous tree with the serpent on it. And then in the medical field, we got the caduceus with the serpent coming up. And that's a symbol of health. Why is that? That's dealing with sexual energy again. It must come up the spinal cord to be healthy. Other than that, if it has blockages, the serpent gets stuck somewhere else, health is bad. We're going to make this make sense. In India, they got the famous Kundalini. And I just did a retreat where I had to show them where it says it's nothing but life force energy. Again, we take that word because it seems so mystical and we make all these things up, but it's not really that difficult at all. It's dealing with sexual energy cultivation. On how instead of having sexual diarrhea, spending your energy everywhere, you're basically harnessing it now, and you need that vitality to feed the body. It will nourish the body. And there's many different levels of sexual cultivation. Now let's look at that word cultivation. Y'all follow me so far? Now cultivation is a word that they use in agriculture. You put the fruit seed in there. And you can't expect to get the fruit the same day you put the seed in the ground. It don't work like that.
How do you spell it?
C-U L
T-I-V.
Yeah, T-I-V.
Asian. A-T-H. Sorry, A-T-I-O-N.
Cultivation.
Oh.
Cultivation.
What is it once again?
Tipuach.
Sexual cultivation.
Okay.
Boy.
And this chakra system, even though all of us know it, we've seen it before, some people just took it seriously like I did. Right. You got to keep these open, and it takes work from the person. They don't stay open all the time. And they even got a good video on YouTube by the medical field, basically saying you have an electromagnetic field, all physical matter does, even the physical body. That cup has it. The chair has it. And we live in that magnetic field of the sun. So we're being affected by everything, and what's taking place now in the revolution we are now is all about energy. The way you harmonize energies, the way you use these energies, and that's going to dictate you having a good life or a bad life. They're even coming out now, we deal with this thing called money. Well, it's a currency. It's still an energy behind it. still have energetic ideas. This is all we're dealing with. So if energy is the ball game, the name of the game, it's best for you to get more educated on energy. So when you deal with the first world countries, dealing with high blood pressure, liver ailments, diabetes, strokes, cancer, all of those are food related. But at the same time, it's also a sexual problem. Because once the health get bad, your sexual energy goes down. It goes hand in hand. Uh-oh. So there's abuse taking place. And of course, dealing with sexual energy, the reason why it's the foundation of prana, because again, this gives vitality to the body. And once the vitality goes, that's where sickness, illness, and disease goes. Now what we're going to do is explain these chakras. Even though they seem invisible, they can be, there's indications that they're working or not, or if they're open or closed. Now the first chakra, the root chakra, deals with the physical body. If the physical body is sick, that's the indication that the sexual energy is sick or is blocked. It's not coming through like it is. It is because a healthy body is a sexual body. And since we were born of sex, we are sexual creatures. It's not a bad thing. But it's when how it gets directed through life and how we use it, it can either build a nice happy home or it can tear one down. This is the way it works. But again, for you to be in this physical realm, this is something you have to deal with because heat love to rise upwards, and that serpent energy, as they call it, is always seeking to come upwards. Even when I was in India, they call it Shiva and Shakti. They got a story where Shiva was trying to find Shakti, one or the other, and everywhere she went, there was a blockage. So she went around like a maze until she finally made it to the top. But this isn't far-fetched. This goes hand in hand with prana because this is ancient knowledge again. The pharaohs used to walk around with the cobra on the top of their head. And what that is saying, that they cultivated their sexual energy so it could come up to activate the pineal gland, which is light activated. And it's said that they were fed by their light body. This isn't far-fetched now. So again, my foundation on living on prana, first I'm going to start from an energetic level, and then I'm going to take you to the material level, what's happening with the fluids. The fluids just isn't dormant if you're not wasting them. And this goes for both male and female. Because when you have an external orgasm, that comes from the word organs. It took a lot for your body to make the cells to produce the fluid. It used the best cells of the body. So you lose protein, you lose all types of carbohydrates and all this other stuff. Now we're not saying don't have sex, I'm just saying the different levels of what's taking place. But there must be some discipline, at least, if you do want to live on a pranic journey.
Are you talking about males or females?
Both male and females. Yet you're losing the same thing, proteins, carbohydrates. You lost something, in other words. Now the reason why the female is usually talks about males instead of female was basically due to the suppression of the feminine. Now since the feminine is coming back out, they're bringing her part in now. So that's why it's being talked about more. If that makes any sense. Absolutely. So, dealing with this cultivation or living on prana, there's a lot of good things happening. Because when these fluids, when you allow them to start dissolving themselves back into the blood, it heightens your electromagnetic field that comes off of your body. Because it has the power to create life. So therefore, when you're not making it come one way out of a person and allow it to dissolve itself back into the blood flow, it actually nourishes the body. But we're going to get a little deeper into it. Boy, there's a lot of information there. It's like, where do I begin? Now, the way I ran into it, I always liked spirituality, and there was a time I was a minister in the church. So I heard about the celibacy idea and stuff like this. And I was married at the time. And so I heard about it. And then one day I went to a men's retreat for all men. And this guy, he was a medical doctor. He split the different groups up into age groups. And it was amazing how each age group of men had the same scenarios that they was dealing with in life. So it was an age category thing. But as you got into the older age group, there was an alarm about pleasing their spouse, dealing with sexual energy. The younger group wasn't really thinking about that. They was thinking about how to use it. One was thinking about how to use it. The other one was thinking about how to gain it back again. So here you go. But the doctor at that time was giving us some real good keys about how you can abuse yourself with your sexual energy, and it can bring harm to you health-wise. So that's the first thing that hit me. Wow, it goes that deep. You can hurt somebody health-wise, right? So as time went on and I began to develop and grow through different things, there was another guy who came out of nowhere talking about sexual energy. Celibacy, that's where the power is at. And I'm looking at him like, oh, be quiet. But then again, I'm on a pranic journey, so I'm listening at this. So through my own trial and error, when I started dealing with the microcosmic orbit, when I ran into that meditation, my energy got very high. But I also, for some reason, jumped into celibacy, because I was like, I'm gun-ho.
Which meditation? I didn't.
Oh, the microcosmic orbit. And did you pass out those one papers yet?
Yeah.
Nice.
Now I got it on the back there.
I passed out the papers that have also on the front and also on the back.
Oh, good. That's the ones I wanted. Now to take a look at that.
Here.
Oh, here we go. This deals with the 12 energy centers on the body. Now right here they got the 7 energy channels. Those are the main ones that they show for mainstream. But they got another one because we actually got a fluid to go ups and down the spinal cord. So if we got a fluid that's going up and down, we have an energy flow that's going up and down. So what we do in this meditation, and we're going to do it tonight, we're going to work with this energy so you can show you how powerful it is, you have access to it, because sexual energy is the most powerful energy that you have access to in your body. Your body has a lot of different energy contacts, but once you make that root contact with the rest of your health, it brings everything online. This is awesome. Your healing powers will go up, you'll heal yourself, you'll be more psychic if you want to say that, you'll know things before they come. It's all up to you on how you cultivate this energy. So, dealing with this, we're going to start just to show you. This is a meditation where wherever the mind goes, the energy goes. So we're going to start under our belly button, the dantian, and there's actually an energy center there. As soon as you put your mind there, the energy go there. It's right up under your belly button, about an inch up under it. As soon as your mind, you're going to be focused on that area, and I'm going to guide you there in meditation. The second position we're going to go to is your gonad area. For the men, it's the testicles. For the women, it's the ovaries. You go to that area, focus on that area. There's a whole lot of energy in that area. Now, starting out with that meditation, the reason why it's starting down here, again, we want to open up these channels so we can bring them upwards to the brain. And I'm going to tell you the reason for that in living on prana. The third level, the third position is called the perineum. And the perineum is the flap of skin that's between the anus and the gonads. And there's a whole lot of energy in that area. They call that the seat of the serpent.
בין פי הטבעת לאשכים, או אצל נשים בין שני הנקבים.
Y'all catching me so far?
Yes.
Oh, good. Now, the fourth position is going to be the tailbone, the coccyx. So it'll be right there at the tailbone because, again, your spinal cord, we're going to get deeper into that. There's a lot going on with fluids and everything else coming up and down the spinal cord. But your sexual fluids being made in your brain, they actually make this journey all the way down so we can have these sexual fluids. So when we focus in that area again, There's a whole lot of energy in that area when your mind goes there. The fifth position is going to be your lower back, in between your kidneys. Whole lot of energy in that area again on the spinal cord. The sixth position is going to be in between your shoulder blades. Whole lot of energy in that area across from your heart. The next area is going to be your medulla oblongata. And that's where the brain meets the spinal cord. And a lot of your Masonic knowledge, you got your 33 degrees vertebrae. So you only need, let me throw this at you, 33% of prana flow in the body to be able to be food free. You don't need 100%. You can get to that ability where you won't feel hungry and you won't feel thirst. And you can choose to eat if you want to. This is a power. So you want this energy flow to open up and you get stronger energetically. And sexual energy is the powerhouse of it. We're bringing that serpent up. The next position, we're going to go to position number 8. And that's the crown chakra. Anywhere on top of the head, just focus on that area and you'll feel that energy flow. Then we're going to go to number 9, the pineal gland, our third eye. And this is the thing about the third eye. A lot of people always, I want to go get my third eye activated. How am I going to activate my third eye? If your sexual energy or the root chakra is blocked, it's not going to do you no good. Energy must flow upwards. That's the mistake a lot of people make. As I travel, there's people, I've been meditating for 20 years and this and that, but their health is bad. I see the gut taking place. Your third eye is not activated. They think that it is due to how they were taught, just because they're sitting there. This is not what we're talking about. You're going to feel this energy and this power as we start cultivating and see what I mean. Usually when I take them through a Qigong meditation or a microcosmic orbit, they'll say, I've been meditating all this time, I couldn't even feel that energy you just showed me. That's why you got to work on it. Now, we're going to get to position number 10. That'll be the throat chakra right here. We're going to focus on that area. Number 11 is going to be the heart chakra. And then number 12 going to be the solar plexus. That's where the rib cages come up about an inch under that. Now, solar plexus is very important. Notice that it sits right on top of your intestines. So what you eat does affect you. And now you're hearing medical science, they're talking about your intestines is your second brain. They say your heart is your brain. What is they talking about? What you eat do affect your thinking. So therefore, let's get into the solar plexus. Solar means sun. Plexus is sort of like an expressway where a lot of roads come in together. They all cross over and go the next way. That's like a crossover point of arteries and veins. When you look it up medically, there's actually a radiation of electricity in this area. See, we don't realize that you're also electrical beings. And you can extract them to electricity in your body to bring more about. That's what we call upgrading a machine. This is a bio machine or a biocomputer. We're in another age, ain't we? So, and then we're going to come back to position number 1 again. Now when we do that, as I take you around the guided meditation, I'm going to tell you to breathe in, and you're going to take it from position 1 all the way up to position number 8. Hold it in, and then when you breathe out, we're going to go back to position number 1. Breathe in, bring it up to position number 8, all in one. That's the orbit. Now, one of the keys is, too, we're going to have our tongue at the roof of our mouth. That actually makes an energetic connection. Now, have any of y'all ever heard of mudras? Now, dealing with the different mudras, we got energy flows going all over our body. And this makes different connections for different organs and stuff like this. But also your tongue serves as a mudra. When it connects at the roof of your mouth, it actually connects the back channel and the front channel together. So you know you're getting good at this meditation is when you could be sitting down or walking one day, just put your tongue at the roof of your mouth, and you'll feel it come online. Boom. Wow, he was right. This is powerful. Because all the channels is open. Once that start taking place, you're going to have a lot of fun. This is all about energy again. So now, when I ran into the microcosmic orbit, it was by a fluke. But every morning I woke up, sat in the chair like this, and I'm going to orbit. Every morning. About a week's time, my energy was like, whoa. Couldn't sleep, couldn't act. This was again before I learned about living on prana. So when I did run into living on prana, I got a thing called the 21-day process that they was having all over the planet, or different places. And but one thing, I didn't have enough money to go to a retreat at the time, just got married. I couldn't take 21 days off from work to do a 21-day process. So I said, I'm going to do this myself then. Right. And I had confidence because remember I said I used to be overweight? And I made all of these changes. Energy high, liver all food diet, I'm fasting became easy, blah, blah, blah. I said I could pull this off. And especially I had that meditation in my favor. So, the first day went easy. Second day went easy, food free, no drinking. Third day went easy, energy channels open. But the fourth day, this is my favorite story. My sister came to the house and she had some Girl Scout chocolates in this big box they were selling. And she said, can I keep it at your house? It was a box of those M&M chocolates. So, I said, go on ahead. So she left it at the house, so I'm watching TV, and I kept looking at the box of chocolates. Looking at TV, looking at the chocolates. And then before you know it, I woke up the next day and there was chocolate all over me. I said, oh man. Now what I noticed was, this is what came out of it. Getting the physical body in a state to live on prana is actually easy. That's the easy part. The hard part is the accumulated habits we picked up as we've been living this life. Food is everywhere, we grew up in it, and we are professional eaters. We're good at it. We have good love affairs we made with food. There's favorite foods we love right now. And my favorite foods was avocados and Fritos. Right off the bat.
And what?
And Fritos. Those Fritos corn chips.
Yeah, I know it.
Oh.
Oh man.
Okay.
Those are my favorite right there.
Fugal things. Truck.
Okay.
And your mind do create your reality. Even when I try to leave them alone, I'll find a full bag somewhere. Who put that there? Your mind. Right. So it's the mind I had to battle with then. But this is the key where I tell people, don't worry about what type of addictions you have right now. If you make meditation your foundation and stick with it, the light will cleanse you eventually. So this is the key right here to stay consistent with. Consistency and meditation is hard. I'm not going to act like it's easy. I just did one retreat at New Year's, and then we just did one about a month after. And the people, when they got there, some came back. One guy said it lasted for 2 weeks, and it was like I got caught back up in your routine of life, doing this, your routine. So it's very hard. So starting out, you have to do your best at least. Just try to stay consistent with meditation. That's the foundation of living on prana, and it also goes with sexual energy.
How much time meditation? How much time meditation need to?
Now, when I first started out, being gun-ho again, I went 40 minutes a day and stuff like this. That was me back then, and I had the time on my hands. Now, for an average person, I usually tell them about 20 minutes. 20 minutes at least give the blood flow 7 times as it goes around the body. That's my thing right there.
Another question, please. My nose are full and I can't breathe through my nose. It's very hard for me to do meditation like this. And so what you are recommend me to do in this situation?
Oh, well, we're not going to do no breath work with it. It's just using your mind.
Okay.
So even breathing in and breathing out, you can go through your mouth. Right. There's a, oh man, should I say this one? Yeah. There's a guy, any of y'all ever heard of Wim Hof? Wim Hof.
The one with
The ice.
the ice.
Yeah, the Guinness Book of World Records. And people ask them, how should I breathe? Should I breathe out my nose? Should I breathe out my mouth? How long? And he got a famous saying that says, breathe, motherfucker, just breathe. Right. So all you got to do is breathe. See, we're in an age where everything is user-friendly. Do the best you can and when you're dealing with a meditation, I just introduced the microcosmic orbit. You might find another one that you like better. All meditations should lead to the same end when you really understand what they're about. And they're about, again, opening up the energy channels. You can deal with sound meditation, vibration, light meditations. It doesn't matter. Since we got this knowledge now, what it should really do, the end result, all of them should eventually lead to some type of health. Let's put it like that, health. Because food freedom is just a byproduct of health, being on the path. And sexual cultivation goes along with health. Because again, going back to cultivating that seed, cultivating that fruit, this energy, it gets stronger and stronger because that's what you're building up, your energy body. See, on one level, everybody's living off of, what word should we use? Ruach, prana, spirit. Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, spirit. See, this is a good age we live in due to the equipment. We can see this energy fields now in us. In the past, it was hard to explain this because people just had the religious mind. Spirit, good spirit, bad spirit, devils, demons, you know. But now we know, oh, you can balance that energy out. It's not a demon, it just needs balanced out. Oh, you're not possessed, just balance out those energies. Some people still got that last memo, but that's okay. We're speeding forward now. But this is what it's all dealing with again. Now, dealing with this sexual energy is important to teach it because, like I said, when you start this meditation, the way you know it's working is because your health will improve where it currently is at. And if that takes place, that means there's better blood flow, right? And it takes blood flow for the body to get a thing called being horny. That will come with the territory. Now, that word comes from hormones. Your body's always producing hormones. We're hormonal creatures. You're a bag of hormones running around. So these hormones, you get to opening up those channels because you got two systems that's going hand in hand. All right, they got the skeleton here. You got the endocrine system, that deals with the chemical part of you. And then you got the electrical part of you, which deals with our neural system. Just for me to move my hand, I was electricity. Actually, the same forces that charge up your cell phone, charge up the physical body. We're coming out with it now. So when you deal with breatharianism as I'm teaching, of course I'm not teaching on a chemical level where somebody say, well, where'd you go get your vitamins or minerals? We're not teaching on that level. We're teaching on a level of polarity of electricity dealing with electromagnetism. They go in degrees. See, when you start learning about physical matter, first science went deeper into it. And the deeper they went into physical matter, they found out the less dense it was. First they started out with the molecules, then the atoms, then the nucleus of things, then the subatomic particles. Now they got a thing called string theory, and all of them is basically saying everything's connected, which Ben was being said. So when we teach breatharianism, we're just teaching at the thing that connects everything together. And basically what that is saying, that's the glue that holds everything together, the foundation. So dealing with this foundation that feeds everybody, that nourishes everybody, you're just strengthening that part of you that you wasn't educated about before. And that's those channels that gives the life in the body. We all been to a funeral before where the electricity was gone. The body was just laying there. Where did it go? But since we're animated with this electricity, we can make it more heightened since we got this piece of equipment now with this knowledge. And like I said, it's going to be a good life. Not only you're purifying your body, you'll get clarity of mind, and if this is your second brain and they both got connected with the first, you're going to become a genius. Right. This is where you're living at. You become a genius. Genius potential. And I mean that. Because you'd be surprised what these chakras will do once you open them up. So like I said, the first chakra, the indication that you know is blocked, is if you got some type of physical health problem. There's something going on. The second chakra, what is that about? How do you know it's blocked or if it's open? That deals with personal relationships. Uh-oh. Somebody irritated you right away, real quick. Now, if the first chakra is open and your health is good, it's harder for people to irritate you because you feel good about yourself. But if the first chakra is blocked, you feel it in the physical body, it's easier for somebody to irritate you. Because the only way the second chakra is going to open up if the first chakra feeds it. This feeds the rest of them. The serpent must come up. Does that make sense? The third chakra, what is that dealing with? Sitting right up over the intestines. That deals with clarity of thought. That's when a person's all indecisive and blah, blah, blah. The thoughts is going here. Because even today we got a revolution going on with people who are fasting. That's more on the scene now. You got intermittent fasting, people putting into their routines, more than ever. And even the hospitals now is telling people you should at least what? Don't eat or drink for 12 hours before you do a checkup. Ding. So there's many diet changes, but the best diet change is what? Not eating at all. And that's not even a diet change. So we got to go there. So you get clarity of thought. You can think things through more clearly. In other words, your cognitive thinking skills become online.
The what? What?
Oh, cognitive thinking.
Oh.
That's thinking things through thoroughly. Now, let's go to these first three chakras again, before we even go to the rest of them. This is so easy. All you got to do is maintain the first three. That's why when you deal with spirituality, the two hardest things that have always been on the mainstream that gave people difficulties was sex and food. Those are the two right there. And if you can at least manage those at a higher degree and keep these open, this is what activates the other ones. So of course there was people running around thinking they had a third eye open. If these is blocked, it wasn't happening. We're coming out with it now. And then let's get even more clear with it. Like I said, Anidia, living with little food or none at all, been on the scene, but what happened? I was in India, where I was at this ashram where they had the Kriya Yoga. And they had 7 different levels of it. At the 3rd level was what? Where you can be food free. You won't feel thirst or hunger. Now that don't mean you got to live a life not never eating, but you'll have the power to. Now that's right in yoga. Now look how popular yoga is. You would think there'd be more people living on prana. So somebody must have ripped that out the book. Right, but it's all dealing with these again. Sexual energy flow, getting it up. But then again, the sexual cultivation part of it, it is tough for a lot of individuals. You got many different degrees. You do got the gray tantra where people start regulating, practicing their sex, diverting it to at least one spouse out of love. That makes a difference on how the energies are connected. And then you got people that's gung-ho like myself, but want to keep the seeds and say, no, you can't have it. And that's a whole other ball game in itself. But that even takes time. That don't happen overnight. Just like I told you on the food, when I said, man, and I fell for the food that time when my sister brought the chocolate to the house, you'd be surprised if you try to go celibate. The same things that happen. Everybody start looking beautiful. Ellie Tom, huh? Right. Right. This happens overnight. There's times you think you can't even get out of it. They be knocking on the door. Ellie Tom, you there? No. So yeah, it was a battle until you get back online. So everything's a process. This isn't beating up on yourself it takes time to actually cultivate these energies so they can go upwards again. Now, the fourth chakra is the heart chakra. And dealing with this electromagnetic field that come off of our body, that could be measured now, that is the biggest field that comes off the body. Uh-oh, now this is good. So if these is open, that means it heighten up our electromagnetic field, the heart chakra. So we really could get things coming to us magnetically with this by thought. You got to open that up now. So that's why this is a health message. Even if you still choose to eat or still choose to have sex, at least understand the knowledge behind it now to don't overdo it. Don't abuse it. Is this making sense? And then as you go on in life, if you want to go further with it, you can eat very little, less, keeping this open, and then you can get to the other points and degrees. But anyway, the heart chakra, it shows it's the furthest off the body. And the way you can tell that is closed is you can hear by how a person talks about the world. If they talk about the world being negative, we're doomed. The heart chakra's closed. They don't see no good. It could be a beautiful day out there, negative. The heart chakra's blocked. And it's blocked because the rest of them is blocked.
All of them?
Right. Well, mainly the root. If the root is blocked, everything else is blocked. That's why sexual energy cultivation is the foundation of vitality and also nourishment. I got to teach it. I know we've been playing around, but I got to. So therefore, it's the way they look at the world. And there's some people that the world always seems got hope, you know, good things always happening. The heart chakra's open. But it's because the other chakras is open. It goes hand in hand. So if you want to better the way you're looking at the world, it is like an automatic given. Because you're more into life. And the chakra, the energy fields is already there. They're just waiting for the flow. So now we got the throat chakra. The throat chakra is, first of all, the body is always tells the truth. It's connected with the universal forces. It's already connected with the nature. It's sort of like how we're about to go over the microcosmic orbit meditation. Now listen at that word, micro, a microcosm. A microcosm is a miniature representation of the bigger of the whole. So you're a miniature representation of the universe. This is powerful. So that's why when you balance your energies out, it's already a given you're connected with the universal forces. So, if you're connected with these forces, that's why this is easy. You get sustained by it. The more you become a nature, the more the energies balance themselves out, and you become sustained by the microcosm. They become one. This is good, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Good shit.
This isn't mythical no more. This is real. So, a person will tell what chakra is if you listen to them. They'll tell their problem, they also tell the solution. So they'll tell what chakra is bad. They sit up there saying, man, my body feels bad, I'm sick. They're just telling the truth, the fifth chakra, that their physical body, the sexual chakra is blocked up. If they start talking about their spouse, yeah, me and so-and-so, we ain't getting along, or at work, this is happening with this person, constantly getting in with people, they telling about this chakra. The voice is telling. If they are confused in their mental thinking, the third chakra is blocked. If the way they look at the world, they're saying it. Man, we're doomed. 20 years from now, everybody going to be killed. That's it. It's telling the truth. And then the last but not least, the sixth chakra, which is the pineal gland. If these are freely coming up with the flow, that brings up your psychic abilities, basically. Because right now we're at a level where sometimes you'll have something on your mind, somebody will say something and say, I was just thinking that. We're already connected. Our fields are already connected to each other. But now it becomes even more sharp when this opens up. I mean, it's on key. Everything's flowing like it should. Now, your seventh chakra, this is real key. This is a good one right here. This is dealing with the cosmic energy that's constantly raining on us. Now, let me show you this. Da, 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 da. I'm ready to get into my artwork. Okay, you got the sexual cultivation there. All right, this is a person, of course. This is the earth they're dealing with. Whoop. I used the blue. This is the sun. Sun, stars, all the cosmic energies. Now the cosmic energy, look at that word we use, and we're going to do the microcosmic orbit. So I got the word cosmic in it. Cosmic energies is just all the energies that's coming from off Earth. So not only our sun, even when you see the stars at night, they're all affecting the Earth. The moon is affecting the Earth. They're bringing energies to it. And we're constantly under this rain shower, both day and night. So even though it's nighttime, we're still living in the electromagnetic field of the sun. We're still being affected by it. You didn't get out of it. The moon phases is just an indication that the sun is still here. So, this cosmic energy flow is always raining on us. Then we got energy that's always coming upwards from the earth. Basically our earth energy, like how you brought up earlier about not having shoes on, grinding to the earth. And this can even be measured now, about the frequency of the earth, about the electrons that's coming up through the body. And energy loves to rise upwards. So you got a flow that you're dealing with from the earth constantly. We lived on it all our life. And then you constantly got this cosmic energy raining on us. And it's so powerful, it's coming through this roof. And it's affected us. That's what's keeping us alive. And now you got this internal energy, or your inner energy. This is the energy you was born with. Whether if you're male or female, there's an energy flow you have going on that represents what would be healthy, or if you abuse it or block it up. So this internal energy, this is what they say. They got a term called before having chi and after having chi. Or before having energy or after having energy. What that is saying is, the energy that you were born with, you ain't had nothing to do with it. That's the menu you was given. All right, I got to work with this. But you're living, your energy flow, you got your electromagnetic field. But then, after having energy, is what you do with it. How you use it. How you spend it through life. But there's some people you can say, okay, my parents did this to me. You know, energies might be bad, but you can work with it and make it better. And then there's some people who do got, we can say, good genetics, and we were to say that, but they can abuse it. So it's how you use your energies throughout your life what makes the difference. And this energy, like I said, we're all energy-like beings. You can do some good creations when you really start working on it, being on this path. Does that make sense? You can do something about it. We're not victims. So this inner energy we're dealing with, and this is what it's dealing with again. Here we go with those 7 chakras we were just saying. And all the cosmic energy doing this is raining down on us. We got this 7th chakra right here. And it's only going to give you enough. It's like you got an antenna up here. It's only going to give you enough so the energies won't kill you. There's so much power that's in this room you don't really realize it. That's why you have to make this transformation through meditation to make the vehicle a lot stronger, to hold a lot more light.
Hyperconductive.
Right. Our bodies is good conductors of energy. Just like copper, silver, all of this, it does the same conductivity. So you want to build this vehicle up so it can hold more energy. That's the power of meditation. And I usually teach that meditation is medication. If a person really learns how to properly meditate, some sicknesses and illnesses, it will heal all of them. I'm going to shoot straight from the hip. And some you will never see. I haven't had a cold in 19 years. That don't happen when this is open. That's just mucus that's in the body. It's trying to come up. You're connected to the atmosphere when you make season changes. Everybody catching colds, flus, that's all that is. But when you start getting into this flow, understanding you're already connected to the matrix, and learn these universal laws, that don't happen. That's a frequency or vibration that a person is on. So, when you start opening up these channels and this energy is flowing upwards, that serpent, that will actually put like a transmission or makes this bigger so more energy can come in. There's this flow that is taking place. But first, you must make the first transmission for you to receive. It ain't going to work the other way around. So you must open up your channels to hold more light to come in. So that's what the seventh chakra is dealing with. And then when more light come into the body, your health will improve even more. You'll have more energy to accumulate, to accomplish things. And I gotta say it, our consciousness is what makes the difference big time. You'll know answers to all things. Any situation you're in, you'll have an answer to it. Because you're hooked up with this matrix of all knowing. But being a microcosm, you gotta open this up. Oh man. Any questions?
Yes. Where is the seventh point?
And the seventh point of B, the medulla oblongata, that's where the brain, right here, where the brain actually touches the spinal cord, right there. Whole lot of energy in that area. Medulla oblongata.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I'm a fat person, for example, what is it mean that one of my chakras is closed or something?
You say a fat person?
Yeah. Yeah. Fat person.
Well, yeah, there's some chakras there. There's some issues taking place.
And once the chakras are open, we should work to keep that state, right?
Exactly. And see, keeping these chakras open is more than just a meditation. See, usually when a person comes into something, you got to pick one leeway or what first. But remember when I said this is a holistic lifestyle? There's sort of like some keys to put here. You start watching what you eat because you brought up being fat. Okay, so there's some weight that need to be lost so that person can feel more light and more better. A woman tried to tell me recently, like, well, I just don't like exercising because I don't think it works. And I said, well, you can't use that now because we got YouTube and there's so many transformations that people made losing weight. And I never saw a person lose a whole lot of weight and say, I feel bad now, I'm going back to where I was. You know what I mean? That don't happen.
And if a person is fat but he's feeling okay, he's feeling great, he's happy, his heart chakra open, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, exactly, exactly. And you're bringing up facts. See, I'm not picking one. See, just because a person's skinny don't mean they're healthy either.
Yeah, it's true, it's true.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So the main thing is being comfortable, being happy, and stuff like that. We're not on that at all.
Yeah.
However, as I'm teaching this message, everybody should look at it because everybody's dealing with some level of health. You're going to deal with it all your life. And at least better your health for where it's at right now so you can see this energy flow that we're talking about. And mind you, I usually tell people that they should ask questions for themselves because you don't know how that other person's feeling really. You know what I mean? If you ask them for somebody
Yeah,
else.
of course, yeah. I'm asking for myself.
Oh,
No,
you ain't fat.
I'm not talking about very fat people. I'm talking about people who have the natural tendencies for, they love eat, you know? For
Well,
food. It's our nature. It's difficult to understand for me how a person can stop eating, you know?
Oh,
It's
Don't
our
worry.
natural tendencies, so it's,
Oh, well, check this out.
yeah.
This is what I tell people so I want to intimidate you. Don't think about the not eating part. Just think about your health and bettering it. When you're on that path, that will come naturally to pop into your head as you're going on.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing all the improvements and the work you made on yourself, and there should be a desire not to go back to the former. And as you keep aging, you're always going to have this challenge taking place. So it's not like no destination. This is a life journey.
Yeah. Maybe many lifetimes.
Right.
Yeah.
So you might kick in with food freedom, or it might make sense to you when you become a grandmother or something. It might not be for you right now. If you'll come back to you. He was right. and you know, you've dealt with the energies and certain desires you don't have no more, that'll be your next phase. That's why I tell people don't rush it. That's the bad thing about it. Some people do try to rush and put tape on their mouth. I ain't never eaten again. Tom, where's that energy you was talking about? Stop it, cut it out. That's not what we're talking about. Because like I said, I've been on this path for 19 years. Now what that means is, no, I didn't stop eating for 19 years. There was seasons on how you're going to apply it in your life until it got stronger. Like even when I was raising my son, why would you want to not eat when you got a child there? You don't understand. That's the moments to bring you together. So I chose to eat every other weekend till he got a certain age. Now when he got grown, now I can move on to my next development. Oh, I don't have to do that now. And he can move on to his development. So that's why this knowledge is valuable on when you're going to apply it.
Are you drinking water?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. People usually say water because it's a healthy thing to say.
Yeah, maybe something else is drinking.
Right. That's why they say water. I want to see them challenge water. Right. That's why they say it. And that's the wrong question to ask for breatharian. Yeah. That's the wrong question right there. For now on, y'all just say, you drinking anything. Just put it like that. Don't ask them if they drinking water. They looking at it like, what? Now for number one, your body do produces liquids. So I'm going to get into that. And drinking water, no, because it's boring and they got no taste to it.
Yes, keep on.
So therefore, they're going to drink something, and this blows people's minds at times. Because a breatharian to say something, well, I like drinking cappuccino, I had a cappuccino. And they'll say, well, that's not healthy. I thought you said be healthy. But they understand that this is a level of consciousness. That cappuccino ain't giving you health or life, nor is that orange juice. Now, this might sound contradictory. This deals with levels and degrees. You will go through a level called conscious eating. When you find out that the foundation that's keeping you alive is energy flow. All food and diets is a belief system. And keep in mind that liquids is just another form of food. In other words, it's just the molecules are going a lot faster. Say, for instance, you got the orange and you got the orange juice. They're both the same molecules. It's just that the molecules is going faster in one than the other. The behavior change. Or from ice to water. Then you got steam.
So water, is it that it's kind of food for you?
Well, water, now listen at this so y'all can understand what the pranic community is saying. If you could do 3 months drinking water, you're considered pranic. Water draws light to it. Light attracts light.
Fasting on water, you mean?
This isn't fasting.
Just water.
Just water.
Right. Because I got to really explain this so people can understand. Now listen at this. Water draws light to it, for number one. Ding. So it's a good soluble. Ding. It really flushes stuff out. Ding. So water's a good thing. We're not talking against water. When I was in India, I flushed out a couple of times due to the air pollution. Now, I could have waited, but I said, no, let me go ahead and get it through faster. But you're not drinking for that you need to drink. Now, the more you eat, the more you need to drink. That's why you can't see it, because you're in another type of habit. And the reason why you feel thirsty is due to the mucus that's going through your system. Everything you eat, your body produces mucus. You get up in the morning, all of this, that's mucus coming up. And your mouth is connected to your anus. The more you get mucus out of your system, you will not feel thirsty. That's overload. Now the fluids that your body produces, let's go into your cerebral spinal fluid. That's created by the atmosphere. And medical science has proven that now. Just look up the cerebral spinal fluid. And this fluid is on a circulation because your brain sits in the fluid. It didn't come off the water you're drinking or whatever you're drinking. And there's a lot of people right now in society who don't drink water. They're drinking something, but they don't drink water. They need to drink more water. So anyway, going into this again, that's why in Kriya Yoga, let's go to that for instance. The third level of getting rid of the hunger and the thirst. Now that's not saying you don't have the ability to eat or drink no more, but you have the ability not to either. Because you got everything circulating opened up. We really got to understand that you are light beings. That's the foundation. Really got to understand it. And the other things on the physical level, you're doing it now due to your habits, is due to the habits we're in. And even in people who fast often, we'll usually tell you about the third or fourth day, hunger decrease, thirst decrease. So it's an experience you're getting into. Now the difference between living on prana and fasting. Fasting is temporary. It cannot go for a long period of time because the body did not build up enough energy to hold it, like we were saying on this diagram. This is why I'm saying the meditation is the foundation of living on prana. I really mean that. When you meditate, it opens up those channels where they start getting stronger to hold more electricity. It's just like bringing a bigger light in in this room, and we set up another circuitry for the building to bring a bigger light in. That's what you're doing to your body, and you got the ability to do. You are actually building it up, creating another vehicle. You're going from an earth animal to an air animal. Uh-oh, did I say that? In other words, your lungs is going to become your primary digestive system. Your intestines are going to become your secondary. Right now, since you're eating consistently, your intestines is your primary and your lungs is your secondary. All you're going to do is shift them. And that's where the transformation is taking place.
We got.
Huh?
We like it.
Oh man, this is awesome. But this is an awesome journey again. This is about experimenting with yourself. Because I'm just giving you information. That's what the teacher does at first. And then they introduce the practices, because the practices give you a chance to apply the idea. Once you apply the idea, then you get into your own self-realization. In other words, when I showed the microcosmic orbit to one man who came to a retreat, and I was talking about your energy to go up and this and that. About a couple weeks later, here comes the phone. You was right. What do I do now? Am I allowed to drink smoothies? I'm like, have a good time, don't rush it. But the energy went up, you felt it. But again, this is like rivers of water, boosting up when you really start tapping into yourself. Because wherever your mind goes, the energy flows. You can focus on your hand and feel a difference. Focus on your leg. So you can start taking your mind going into your body. So you got these energy channels in there, open them up. It's our responsibility. And you can keep them open.
So why we are eating?
Well, you're a hybrid. Let's put it like that for now. You're a hybrid. You can do both.
Okay.
Just like we're making hybrid cars now.
Okay.
There's cars that run off of fossil fuels. Now we got something that run off electricity, solar.
I can choose.
You can choose.
Okay.
That's why you don't have to be hard on yourself. This is user-friendly again, isn't it? Now, when you choose to go straight to another energy source, only you can. So this is why this makes a good age. You don't need to be stuck there. Because again, how long do you need to keep eating the same food until it hurts you, or just, in other words, you want another experience? See, the reason why I choose not to eat totally now is because I'm having a breatharian experience. I want the experience. It's sort of like, I remember back when I was 20, I used to take myself out to eat to this favorite steakhouse. Get my favorite steak before I go out partying. And now, that was a great experience. I'll never take away that experience. Now, would I want to do that now? I'm in a whole other experience.
Gotcha.
Dealing with consciousness.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You're exploring consciousness. Because on one level, what is it? We just think it's stuck up in the head. But pretty soon, when you start going into these levels, man, my consciousness is my whole body. You are what you think. It goes way beyond you are what you eat. Why are you eating that if you think in a certain way? That's part of the blocking the program. But then you start exploring the atmosphere. Remember I said the microcosm and the macrocosm become one? This is your consciousness. It was just, again, a day, or this happens every day I'm in heaven. But things always work in my favor. This isn't bragging or nothing. I'm in my consciousness. I'm in my dream. There's no blockages. So when you're exploring that, I don't want to come out of that dream right now. I want this experience. Because whatever frequency you go on to, it's like a radio station. That's the radio station you're born on. Uh-oh. Does that make sense? It's a wonderful thing. So all I'm doing is just giving information for growth.
I'm interested if the energy can be transferred or if the sun is the only source of energy.
Oh, okay. That's a good one you brought up.
Pardon?
That's a good one you brought up.
Thank you.
Even though all these cosmic energies are coming on the earth, boom, boom, the sun to this, the moon to this, people use different names on what they call themselves to start living on prana. You got prana beings, you got solar beings, you got nature beings. Right, right. So like we were saying earlier about like in nature, you get the negative ions. You don't have to be directly under the sun to benefit off the sun. We're breathing in the sun right now.
But we can transfer it to one another?
Oh, absolutely. We do it all the time. Have you ever seen somebody, every time they come around, you get tired? Maybe complaining and draining your energy? Right. And then there's people that can come around you to make you feel boosted up. We do it all the time to one another. Absolutely. Transferring, receiving. We're like transceivers of energy. You're receiving constantly or putting off constantly, both day and night.
So it's not just this, it's this.
It's just that you're pulling energy so many different ways. The point I was just making is about the center of your being is what should be opened up first to bring health to the body. Because the more you go to your center, the more health improves. To keep that center open. But you're pulling energy from all different places where the body needs it. Absolutely.
So it's like a group, like the more people that do it, essentially it's kind of better for humanity.
Oh, the synergy? Oh, absolutely. I was in India, well, every place I go, basically. One guy came back to meet me again, and we started meditating together. He said, oh, it's so good to be with the group again. It's hard being by yourself, meditating to feel that same synergy. So that's why I encourage groups when I have retreats and stuff. Y'all stick together. You know, get a WhatsApp group. So that's what I try to do with different people. Encourage each other. Put pictures on there you meditating. Put a quote on there. Keep everybody going and motivated because it's tough when you're by yourself and you try to cultivate this new idea. Nobody's arguing that. You'll lose it for a while. And it's sort of like you're having a energetic abortion. You build up this energy and then all of a sudden you quit and you lose it all. You got to start again, lose it all. And I'm glad I brought that up. This is what actually pushes you for different levels of sexual cultivation and food freedom. You got this new power. Okay, I know I can live without food. But you feel your energy channels after a while, your energy going up and down. You're enjoying the food. Don't never deny yourself that. But then you start going into a filling state. A filling state means, yes, that was good when I just ate that avocado, but man, I sure felt better when I didn't eat it. But still not beating up on yourself. When you need it, enjoy yourself. Until one day, the avocado didn't taste the same no more. That was the indication of my body saying, we outgrew it, let's move on. This is what makes it so wonderful. You don't have to push yourself. You have a body intelligence that will take you further. This is awesome.
You think there's a finite amount of energy?
What's that?
There's a finite amount of energy?
Finite? It means keep going on?
No, like in the whole universe.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like and then it just kind of gets recycled?
Because you're really not gaining more energy. You just feel that way because energy don't increase or decrease. that's around us. You're just harmonizing or balancing out the energies. So you're not gaining more. You're just balancing out. It's sort of like we're thawed ice or thawed light, not thawed light. We're frozen light, and you're thawing out. That's all you're doing. You're frozen light. And you're taking it to another level. That's why more dense food is just what? Frozen light. That's not the only light you need to eat. So we're not talking dense food. Food is a form of prana. It's just at a different density. You're just going to other densities and you can live off of it. But you must strengthen the vehicle to deal with these more subtle energies. So is this making sense? Like I said, you just got to give it a try and keep working with it. So right now, oh, go ahead.
How do you know if your throat, third eye, and the last chakra are closed or something? How you can realize that your throat chakra is not open, for example?
Well, your throat chakra is usually, since it's the one that tells the truth, it's going to tell you what chakras is blocked up. In other words, if these, what I'm just saying, if these are closed, don't even worry about these. These ain't got nothing coming.
Yeah, of course.
They're blocked up because these are blocked up.
But how I know that my throat chakra is blocked?
How do you know your throat?
Throat chakra is blocked.
Well, your throat chakra, all right, let me make this make sense. Should I say that one really don't get blocked? But there is people who get sick from the thyroid, but that's another ballgame. That one right there is going to tell you which one is blocked. When I keep saying this one tells the truth, now you're asking me this question. What problem are you having?
No, I don't have any problem. I just
Because you'll tell it to me. But that's what I'm trying to say. It won't be blocked. It's going to tell you what the problem is, right?
Ah, okay.
It's the hall of truth.
Okay.
It's going to tell you what's happening. If you're having a problem anywhere, like I told you, that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
And everything else is having a problem. The way you're looking at the world, the way you're talking. So if that's everything, the way you're talking, negative, right? That's how we know it. But it's part of your consciousness. See, all of those chakras is consciousness. And we're with the unified consciousness. That's what we want to hook up with. So that's why if somebody asked me about relationships, or was that somewhere else?
Somewhere.
Yeah.
No, I asked you.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
And this is what this is all about, relationships again. The physical body, you build a relationship with the physical body, you build with your second chakra, you build a relationship with people who are close to you. It's more than just a spouse, family, friends, co-workers. That's all the second chakra. Third chakra, relationship, or how you thinking with your mind. Do you care about it? Right. Have more clarity of thought. It's all relationships. Relationship, your responsibility in the world, it goes on and on. And that's what's actually feeding you. It's a force we're tapping into. Some say it's from the fourth dimension. You know, they use those other words. I like that.
But they're all automatically, like, if the Muladhara chakra is blocked, then everything else is blocked?
Everything is blocked.
So we can't think about relationships if we're still thinking about food.
Right.
It's the same thing. Sorry.
And I'm going to explain that. It's because nature thinks in the whole, for the whole. Nature's already unified. We're the ones acting parts and pieces. Like we're separate from nature. You're not. That's the illusion. So therefore, like we're the ones saying, like right now I'm teaching the 7 chakras because that's the way we talk. But it's actually one unified chakra. Everything should be open for you to be whole. That's where we get the word holiness from. Righteous cycles. There's only basically one chakra. So, but due to our language and due to our thinking, well, which chakra do I know my throat chakra is blocked? Well, all of them blocked.
So if I have some disease, it starts from
First.
here, from the base, sexual energy.
Basically, because diseases start from an energetic level. Right.
So it makes.
We might as well go with it. Right. Because it's all about energy flow. And if you got a river that's flowing, and you start blocking it up, it ain't going like it should.
If I
And-
have here,
It's coming from the base. All of that. Dealing with the sinuses, I dealt with a lot of that. I usually tell people don't eat at night. The body's under the cycle, there'll be a big difference. Right, don't eat at night. And see what happens to your sinuses. That's universal laws. Just because they're visible don't mean that they're active. But it's little things like that, it's subtle. So that's why it's easy, like we said, this knowledge is making a rebound. Because how did it ever get lost? It got lost because of subtle energies we're working with. It's easy to lose something that's subtle. But now it's like humanity has gotten materialism off their chest. See what happened to their health at the end of the day worth it. We're making this rebound coming backwards. Because it's better to be healthy than to be sick. I gotta say it. I ran into many millionaires who said that, you got the right piece, right? Can I use your boat? Right. Right. I can enjoy it and they couldn't. Oh, I'm sick. I'll take care of it. I'll be back. Right. That's your wealth. It goes hand in hand. And the laws we come back into this, everything else will come to you. So we're not even saying materialism bad, but put it in this proper perspective. When you come up out of your center to go for other things, you're out of your center. You're not connected with the forces. You're disconnected. And see, sickness is good for the simple fact it's an indicator to let you know where you're at. Oh, I don't went too far. It's time for me to take a break. Time for me to make some changes. That's the indicator. That's why this message ain't even no argument. People be trying to sit there and I'll be like, how can you, well, my back do? Okay, that's the indicator. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Right. We're not trying to put people down for being this or being that. Everybody got to deal with this. Like you said, the synergy makes it stronger. So the more we teach this message around the planet, it makes the synergy of the whole planet a lot more user-friendly. And that's the revolution that's taking place now. So this is a good age we're in. So right now we're going to get into this microcosmic orbit. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
And again, I'll walk you through each and every one of them. And all you're going to do is focus on each point. I'll talk you through it, and we'll go all the way through. And then we'll breathe it up, breathe it down the spinal cord, and then we'll have some qigong moves with it. So right now I'm going to let everybody else go here.
Can we have a short break? I mean,
Oh yeah, take a short break
5
also.
minutes?
Absolutely.
You're full of energy, but we need a little bit less.
People got to remind me that I forget to use the bathroom and all of this, and I'll be talking about blah, 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 blah.
כן.
מישהו רוצה קרין?
Well, since you made that creation, yeah, take care of the baby and eat and stuff like that, because that's a whole other piece. You breathing together his physical body and stuff. We ain't get into that one yet. Yeah, absolutely.
So you don't need to like use the facilities or anything?
What's that?
You don't like use the bathroom or anything because there's nothing coming out? Or?
Right, the only thing goes out is what goes in. I'm glad you brought that up because they got a big thing called urine therapy now. Urine therapy.
Like to drink your pee?
Right. Okay. And they ask me all the time, well, what about you and being breatharian? I said, but that don't have nothing to do with breatharian. Because what only comes in is what's coming out. And if you're sitting there not drinking, you're not bringing out no urine. So how can I go into urine therapy? Why would I need to?
And you don't
You need to because you're eating and drinking. You go into urine therapy. So there's a basis for everybody. Now, your body is a good absorber. So every once in a while, I do get a tinkling that you got to use the bathroom and a little bit come out.
Right.
We went swimming one time and all of that came out of me, you know, went through the blood and stuff like this. Qigong, I love it. So therefore, that'll take place. But you're not using the bathroom like a regular individual. Not at all.
Sweating, do you have like a dry mouth? Like.
Well, a dry mouth comes from mucus again. Once that goes...
So you have moisture?
Oh, absolutely. Your brain is sitting in the fluid. Where did it get that from? It creates it. There's moisture in the atmosphere.
Right.
We're living in such a beautiful, wonderful, healing atmosphere. This is the realization we have to come into. It nourishes us. It gives us everything we need.
Abundant.
Abundant. This is awesome. This is the realization. And this body that we have knows how to work with it. We just have to bring it back into that realization of consciousness. This is what it is. Man.
Do you limit your sensory intake as well? Do you limit your sensory intake? Like, are you, like, Pratyahara? Like, are you careful with what you, like, we can take in food, that's one thing, but then there's also sound, sight, smells, like...
Oh, it's taking in everything. Right.
Like, are you careful with kind of what you do with your other senses and whatnot? Like, would you listen to, like, random music or something like that?
I don't even think about it. When I first came into this, dealing with the sensitivity, you know, you try to watch it. Right now, I don't even care. Because where I go, it's like I'm rolling out a whole nother consciousness.
So you got blinders on kind
Right.
of too.
And not only that, your body could take that sound, so you could transmute energies. So it's your thought process, too, on how you're dealing with energies. That's why you get breatharians, we always talk about that cappuccino. That don't mean nothing no more because the thought changed. So they'll deal with it differently. There's even people who used to be allergic to certain foods, but once they started living on prana and tasted that food again, it don't affect me like before. Your thought means a lot. So it's the same with these external energies, being scared of them. That don't mean a hell of beans. Like I told one guy, he was like, well, my vibration is so high that I, you know, all from people. I said, well, you got a people problem if you got to stay away from people. Now, here I am, breatharian. I could go to the bar down here where they shooting pool, have a good time. Not like I'll go down there because I want to. Have a good time, meet people, didn't have to take part, and have a good time, and don't come out, I've been affected. Everybody's a vibration. And then my thought process, everybody's a high vibration. What do you mean? A high vibration. You're me. What else would we say? So that's a whole different ball game of thought. Absolutely. It nips everything in the bud. But yeah, we're taking our little break.
Now is the break?
Oh, that's not you.
I came back from the break.
Absolutely. And the Qigong is my bread and butter too, that you were just doing. The microcosmic orbit, that, and the Merkaba. Those are three are very powerful.
Merkava, meaning the old Hechalot mysticism, the old Kabbalistic mysticism, Merkava?
Well, the tree of life one with the two pyramids.
Yeah.
Yeah, very powerful. Swirling the light around you.
As a practice.
Yeah.
Being within the
two pyramids. One going one direction, one on the other.
Excellent.
You shaking. Building a vehicle. But see, they're all excellent meditations. But see, the whole key is, we had this knowledge, like I said, I'm just a reminder. You got the knowledge, but now it's just learning these other pieces of what you can do with it, instead of just letting it sit dormant, or it was just there for good looks to say, I know it. Hey, I can take this to other levels of consciousness. Right. That's what you want it for. Because all of us thinking of what? Better life, be happy, don't be sick, you know, keep doing things, creating. Oh man, this is what we want. Instead of it coming to a halt, blockages, don't know what's happening. The world is mean. It's everybody's fault. Right, that's a whole other ball game.
I have a question on the journey. You said before that we eat raw food some point,
Right.
and you think it helps you in the path, like to go to
I'm
lower
glad you brought that up.
ups levels, you know?
I'm glad you brought that up. Now, I'm just teaching, coming from a point teaching my experience, and I did do a path of lightening up the foods. Now, there is a thing called, some foods hold more energy than others. So if you're going to eat, eat higher energy foods. Here's what you call electrical foods, fruit being one of the highest. And it's a whole different ball game than eating a meat diet every day. So lightening up your diet will really help loosen up your chakras. You're in your meditation, because when you're dealing with this holistic lifestyle, it's more than just a meditation. You can meditate, detox, start exercising, breath work, all of this together. Family, friends, changing the way you think. And when you put that whole package together, you'll be a whole new creation. And just keep tweaking it, slowly but surely. You ain't got to jump way over here right away. And then you'll come into these other realizations on where I need to go next. So that's why I say don't let food freedom break you out, blow you out of the water. That just comes with the territory. I just like this feeling, like this state. Somebody said, don't you miss the pizza? Absolutely not. Not now. I remember it. Those are some good times. But not right now. Boy, that would be rough right now. I can't even imagine it.
No, after you see the lights.
Right. You want to keep going on and see where you could go further. This is a good thing. Now, right now, everybody can get them a good, comfortable position.
We're gonna sit.
Sitting down would be good. Right. Get nice and relaxed. The more relaxed the body, the easier the energy flows. Relax your shoulders. Relax your hips. Now take your mind, and we're going to position number 1, about an inch up under the belly button, and focus on that area. Also make sure your tongue is at the roof of your mouth. And focus on position number 1. Right up under the belly button. Stay focused. Wherever the mind goes, the energy goes. Just focus on that area. Now take your mind, go to position number 2, the gonads, the testicles for the men, the ovaries for the women. Focus on that area. There's a lot of energy in that area. Stay focused. Feel the energy of that area. Now slowly take your mind and go to position number 3, the perineum. That's the flap of skin between the anus and the gonads. Focus on that area. Stay focused. Feel the energy in that area. Now slowly take your mind, go to position number 4, the tailbone or the coccyx. Focus on that area. Feel the energy in that area. Wherever the mind goes, the blood goes, the energy flows. take your mind and go to position number 5, in between the kidneys, the lower back. Focus on that area. Stay focused. If the mind wanders, slowly bring it back. Feel that energy. Now let's go to position number 6, in between the shoulder blades. Focus on that area. Stay focused. Feel the energy in that area. Stay focused. Now take your mind, go to position number 7, the medulla oblongata. That's where the brain meets the spinal cord. Focus on that area. Feel the energy in that area. Stay focused. Now take the mind, go to position number 8, top of the crown chakra. Focus on that area. Feel all of that energy at the crown chakra. Stay focused. Wherever the mind goes, the energy flows, the blood goes. Now take your mind, go to position number 9, in between the eyebrows, the third eye. Focus on that area. Stay focused. Feel that energy in the third eye. Take your mind, go to position number 10, the thyroid, the throat chakra. Focus on that area. Stay focused. Now take your mind, go to position number 10, the heart chakra. Focus on that area. focused on that area. Feel the energy in the heart chakra.